Relief tonight for the family and friends of the two Americans we told you about, formerly hostages, now in just the last maybe 5-6 hours, released by Hamas and safely in Israel. This is the image that we're seeing of them in a photo released by the Israeli government. Mother and daughter, Judith and Natalie Raanan, kidnapped by Hamas in that terror attack 2 weeks ago. The State Department confirming today that they were released right along the border of the Gaza Strip there. They're now reuniting with family in Israel as we speak. The relief their family is feeling also reflected just outside Chicago, in a suburb there where these women live, 1759. Maggie Vespa is joining us now from Evanston. And Maggie, really a meaningful moment for so many in Evanston. I know you had a chance to speak with Natalie and Judith's rabbi, right? Tell us more.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're standing here. We just spoke to him in the last hour or so. I've also talked to a friend of Judith's over the phone. Everybody here just saying for the first time in weeks, they are going to get a good night's sleep tonight. The relief is just rippling through this community. They've spent weeks in agony, just like the families that, you know, really have remained really tight-lipped throughout this entire thing. We've spoken mainly to the rabbi throughout all of this and kind of to friends who know these two. They learned with the rest of the world that Judith and Natalie were being released that by Hamas today, and they're waiting, just like everybody else, on pins and needles for updates on their condition and basically a timeline for when they'll be able to reunite with these two who are so important to the community here. And the rabbi says they've been a part of his congregation for so long. It's just something that everybody here is processing in real time with the rest of the world. Take a listen to part of what the rabbi had to say just a few minutes ago.
As much as we are so grateful that Judith and Natalie have been released, we are also certain that we are talking about evil people, an evil group that needs to be eradicated and that needs to be removed from Gaza.
Yeah, the rabbi quick to refocus there, again, on so many that are still being held hostage. You know, at the same time, also something that we asked about was the timeline. Obviously, you know, Hallie, NBC's Martin Fletcher, who you spoke to earlier, went on TV last night on 11th Hour on MS and said that Natalie and Judith are relatives of his wife, and suddenly less than 24 hours later, they're released. I asked the rabbi if he thinks that that timeline is a coincidence, that suddenly these higher profile hostages were released. He simply said, I think that our prayers have been answered. Hallie.
Maggie Vespa, we're so glad to have you there with so many in the community waiting to welcome back Judith and Natalie with open arms. Maggie, thank you so much for being there.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.